So the first thing we're going to go through is, what is your purpose? What is the purpose with your CV? Is there someone who has any suggestions? Do you have any suggestions? To find a job. To find a job. That's one, yeah. Do you have any suggestions?
It's our card, to present us to the companies. It's the first thing we...
Yeah, to present you to the company, yeah. And I would say, the most important thing with the CV, the curriculum, your resume, is to get them to contact you. That's the only reason. That's the only reason you write it, to get them to contact you, to get them interested in you. So if you have that in mind when you write your CV, then you will be really successful. That's the only purpose we have, because they will never give you a job. If you send in your CV, they won't call you and say, hey, you're hired. They need to meet you first. They want to meet you first. They want to talk to you first. They want to see who you are. They want to see how do you socialize with other people and so on. So, and what we're going to do here is we're going to do a really nice and smooth CV. I'm going to go into details, because there are a lot of people that they miss the details in the CV. And the first of it is, when we put the contact info, I normally put it up in the left corner of the CV. Normally also, I would say that a good CV is 2 pages, 2 A4 pages. I talked to a recruiter company in New York, and they said their best CVs is on 1 page. And I was thinking a lot about that, and I asked them, who does have just one A4? And they told me that it's only the top of the top. And of course, if you've been the CEO of IBM, if you've been the CEO of, AT&T, you don't have to write, a resume. You just have to give them your business card, actually. And I don't think they're looking for a job like that. But we do it. We do it in 2 pages. No more than 2 pages. If you're up to 3 pages or more, no. That's a big no-no. Because we still have to fill in, something interesting in it. We have to write something about you. And we also have to be quite, how do you say, kill your darlings? Make it short, make it nice. So what we like to have is the name and everything up in the left corner. But this doesn't look good. This is something that so many people come with. They say name, they say address, they say phone, they say mail address. If it is like there's an at in that, is someone who doesn't know it's an email address? No, everybody knows it's an email. Does that say it's a phone number? Yes, of course. So you don't have to write it. But so this is more how it should be, nice and smooth, up in the left corner, up top there. And also, if you're applying for a job in Sweden, you say 08. You don't say +46, like I did here. And also, what do we like them to do? We like them to call you, right? So we put your phone number in the bottom. That's the easiest. And you see also I put the spaces in between, so that it won't be any trouble to actually dial your number, okay? And most likely, why we put the address and everything is that so they know where you live. That's quite important, So they know if you're applying for a job in Sundsvall, for instance, they know you live in Stockholm. And this is the way we do it also. You have your first name and you have your last name. No middle names, no other names, only the names you use, your first name and your last name, nothing else. And the address and everything like this. And then the email address, your email address, and then your phone number. This is up in the left corner. Then we move on to, some people ask, shall I have a photo? Yes, everybody should have a photo. You should have a picture of yourself, and you should have a professional one, a really good one. It says a lot about you, and things you don't have to write down. For instance, this is Mitsu. Mitsu's working at Confident Coaching. She's over there. And is there someone seeing what's in the background? I don't know if you see what's in the background. So do you see what's in the background? Yes, it's the sea. It's the sea in the background. This is a very good picture. I like this one very much. Because what does it say about her? Yeah, does it say anything about her that she has the sea in the behind? She likes nature. Do you think she comes with a hangover on Monday morning? No, I don't think so. So you see, you have a lot of things, involved in this picture. And also I assume that she's, she likes to be out in the nature. She might be some sporty also, doing a lot of these kind of things. So this is a very good one also. That's another guy, and this is taken in a studio in New York, and I had a stylist and I have everything done for it. So if you like to, this shows that I'm, really serious about this. This is what I have on my webpage also. So if you're serious about getting a job in Sweden, you should actually put in some effort, to take a good picture. And I also say, since the picture is going to be up in the left corner, I would like you to, I have certain rules I would like to apply, to this picture, is that you look straight into the camera, and you have your left shoulder a little in front of you. And why should you have the left shoulder a little in front of you? Let's say you're going to have it up here, so you have a left shoulder a little bit in front of you, because this is mine. I'm proud of this. If you have your right shoulder, you're moving away, okay? So this is, small pieces, small, details that not so many people think about. So if you have your left shoulder in front of you, this is mine, I'm proud of it, and so on, okay? And then you look straight in the camera, and also something else. Smile. Yes, you smile also. And if you do it yourself and you don't go into a studio, you could do like Mitsu. She was outside, she had a scene behind, or a very nice green bush also. It could be really good. If you're inside, if you do it at home, have something green behind you, one color, no bookshelf, no disturbance and so on. So the picture is, yes, you should have a picture, but make it professional, make it look good, make it, show who you are in the picture. If you like to see, go out there, have a really nice picture. And then we start with the CV. And you see the first one, the first line, I call it a one-liner. Is there anybody here who remembers when Apple, when they released the iPod, they had a very good one-liner? Someone remember that? No? It says, 1,000 songs in your pocket. Everybody else were talking about how big, how many gigabytes they had, and if they could play all the different kind of file formats and all these kind of things. No, Apple said 1,000 songs in your pocket. That's it. Perfect. So you should have something like that also. The first one. You could have 2 lines, but if you can have it in one line, that's good. Just have it in one line. Something also related to the company or the ad you're applying for. Okay? Because we have a lot of characteristics that really you can find them if you're applying for a certain job. You can see, okay, I have these also. It's not that we have just 3 or 4. We have a lot of them, depending on what kind of environment I'm in. Okay, so what I said is I'm a dedicated, excessive developer with passion for helping people. That's a little bit about me. That makes them interested. I was talking to a friend of mine. He was yesterday, and he's been meeting people that are taking in application to Harvard. And they said if they lose interest in the first 30 seconds, they throw it away. If they're not interested after 30 seconds, they throw it away. So this is one of the things that's really important to have, because there's a lot of recruiters. Say, for instance, you're applying for a job, and here in Sweden, the normal number is something in between 150 to 300 applications. And they sit and go through everything like this. And we would like to have their attention, right? And that's what you get with the first one. So put in, quite some time on that one, so you build it up. You have a good one there. And then we start with the working experience. And I say this, I've been saying this for 3 years now. You should always put it on top. A couple of weeks ago, I met a guy. I was helping him, and he did have work experience. I think it was like back in the 90s, in the beginning of the 90s. He'd been studying, and he's been traveling a lot. So then he said, okay, put the education first, because what the job he's applying for was more for the education he had. Okay. Otherwise, I would like you to put the work experience first, on top. And you said you put the last job you did, you put it in there. And I also say work experiences because you can have some kind of, what's this English word, praktik? Practice? If you go out, you practice in a company, that is also work experience. You can put it in there. You don't, that's why I put this here. This is not, if you're employed or something like that, but it's a work experience, so it's a very good one. So you can put it in there and use it. And this is a format I use. So we start this. If you say the date, if you have it like this, you can have it also back here. But what I would like you to have is, you see it, you follow a line. It's very easy here to see. It's very easy to follow. It's very easy to see if you have a gap or not, and so on. And they sometimes look for that. Oh, they always look for that. So you have like a format. You don't have to put the day, but the month, okay? So you put the year and you put the month, and you say, okay, this is current, it's ongoing. Here you have, it's ended the 2003 in August. And then you say, what is it you were doing? This is the title. It's like the job title you have, okay? And then you have the company. And then where it is. And if you're applying for a job, if you live in Stockholm and you're applying for a job in Stockholm, and you've been working, say this was in Älvsjö. Okay, then you write Älvsjö. And if this was in, I don't know, say Täby, then you write Täby. Why? Because that shows that you can move around. You're not stuck in one place. If you live in a city, you don't have to work in the city. You can work in different kind of places. So you say a lot of things by just putting in small things like that. And then you describe what your responsibilities was. You describe what you were doing. You describe what is it that you were responsible for. So I normally say, remember to say what you were responsible for, and also what is your result. What was the result? I had a client coming last week, and he said, unfortunately, I can't say the result because it's classified. Well, then we have to find another way to show the result, because the result was he was always on time, he was always, there is always things to find. I always meet the budget, I always, something like that. So we have to find a way to say, what was the result? Because that shows the company that you can provide them results. So they say, what were you responsible for? That says that you can take responsibility and you can do things, okay? And this is just like a format. If you think like that, responsibilities, result. Responsibilities, results. And you have this format. You just go on with this format. And then we come to the education. Sorry, the education. And you do the same. You see, I have the same here. I have the same format, the same years. What was I doing? Civilingenjör. And where was it? What was the company? Like here. What was the company? Yeah. What was the school, the university? Where was the school? Okay? So you just follow that. So the recruiters know what to expect. They know what's coming here. And also here you have where you were doing, what were the thesis, or if there was something else. And also here I brought up this gymnasium. I don't know what you have in your, but before you come to the university, you bring that one also up. Because it shows that I've been interested in technical things, right? But all of a sudden I've changed my plans here, right? So if I'm applying for like a job as an engineer, they would assume me that I was, I've been interested in really long time, but I, got lost for a couple of years here. I don't know how many years, 10 years or something. And then I decided to apply for to become an engineer again. So this is, something good. If you have an education before this, when you were younger, that shows that you were interested in these kind of things, put it in there. If it's not, don't bother about it. And also, if you have some courses, some short ones, you can put them in here also. Here I put extracurricular activities, awards and honors. This is, you don't have to have this one, but you can put it in here if you have something. Here in Sweden we don't have so many honors or awards and so on, but once in a while there is. So you put it in here. What was it? And especially also if you have it from some school, or if you have from some studies and so on, from some of your classes, and then you put it in here. And then we just continue. This is what I've been doing a little bit, the treasurer and Klubbmästeriet, non-profit student activities, a little things that shows what I'm doing, besides studying and working. And unfortunately, this one I normally put data, IT on top of language. So do that. So we start with the data. the computer skills, and then you say what kind of program you're good in. And here you have something you should do. You should self-evaluate yourself. You should say, I'm good at this, I am advanced at this, and sometimes, but I would say rarely, you would say you were basic. You know, your knowledge is basic. But you should bring up the things that you're advanced in or good in. And why is that? They like to know that you can say things about yourself, that you can evaluate yourself, that you can say, I'm good at this, I'm bad at this. That is very good. So you continue to do it with everything. So you see, I mixed this word in Excel, I am advanced in that. PowerPoint, I'm good. And if I just have advanced, and so on, or good, then it's good to have basic, because it shows that you can evaluate yourself. So that's why you should have different. So I put it here, basic, because this is not, my kind of language. And then we have the language. Since I don't know if some of you have Swedish as a mother tongue, but you should have your language, your mother tongue you should have first, okay? And then you have, if you have fluent in English, you put it up there. And also I put in here, this is something we like here in Sweden or Scandinavia, Spanish, basic knowledge in spoken and written. And then I said tourist level. How come? Any suggestions? That's quite basic, isn't it? Someone can order a beer in Spain? I know. Someone else? No? Over there also? Yeah, una cerveza, por favor. So now you know, okay? It's a little bit, here in Sweden, we like in Scandinavia, we travel a lot to Spain. So if you say you're in tourist level, you say also that I've been traveling a lot, I've been traveling to Spain, and they might have also a picture of you, on the beach or something like that, and something that, brightens. Think about it, they sit and read like 150, 200 of these every day, and all of a sudden they get a picture of you on a beach in Spain. Why not? Give them that, if you have. But I don't know, Spanish, Italian, that is the two languages I recommend to set up. If you have that in tourist level, and then I mean really, really basic. I mean Spanish, that's the only thing I can say. Una cerveza, por favor. So that's tourist level for me. And this is also the self-evaluation. If you have an examination, if you have some grades in English, if you've been to London, for instance, and took some classes there, put it up there, of course. Otherwise, it's self-evaluation. And then we come into the part that I think is the most different from the other countries in the world is this one. Miscellaneous, do you say so? Miscellaneous personalia. And here is what you should put some effort in. And I say here, in my spare time, I dance salsa and will be a part of competition this summer. I pull up some friends and I go on a week skiing holiday a year. I lift weights on world class at Nybrogatan about 3 times a week. In addition, I practice yoga and taking walks in nature. Earlier I played football and basket. In football we came to Division 3 before I switched to basketball. Now I work out a basketball team who were born 95. On weekends I challenge my family in golf and win rarely. My handicap is 36, says quite a bit. So, now when you know this about me, is there a different person standing here? Is it? A little? Yeah. So that's what happened, We tell them what do we do in our spare time, and we put it here also in the resume. We put it here in the CV. A lot of the companies now have you can just start to send in the CV. You can't send in the application, the cover letter, sorry. So you can only send in your CV. That's why I put this one in here, because then you can send it in. You can give them a little hunch about who you are. So for instance, I put in here that I go to my gym is world class. Why do I do that? Suggestion? I'm an active person, but also the recruiter might be going there also. I don't know. I don't know who's going to read this. I don't know. So that's why it's good to put in where it is. And I could have put in here where we go skiing also, a week of skiing. I could have put it in. Do I go to Åre? Do I go to the Alps or so on? I give them some reason to call me. I give them some reason to talk to me. I give them some reason to socialize with me. And also, it says a lot. I mean, I practice yoga, for instance. What does it say about me as a person? Do you think I'm calm? Meditating? Maybe calm? Yeah? Relaxed? Yeah, you see? Just by putting yoga there, you know? So these kind of small things you put in here. You put in what you're doing. And you don't put in that you look at movies. You don't put in that you go out and have a beer with your friends. You don't go, I mean, just kind of, you know, activities that you do. And if you also, like here, I help a basketball team of young people. That also something you can put in here. Do you have a driving license? Put it in here. Things like that you put in here. This is the personal. This is right, like your personal stuff that you have. And this is one. I would say this is very difficult to get it down. A little bit. This could be. I could shorten this down, maybe 2 lines, something like that, and that would be perfect. So don't have too much about it, because this is also something that you're going to explain in your cover letter. And that's what we're going to talk about on Thursday. Then we have the references. So you have references. And that is a person, you can give away their phone number. And, well, you know. And that is also only on request. And why is that? What do you think? Make them call you. Make them contact you. Okay? So they will call you. They might call you and say, hey, I'm interested in this, your application here and here. And I was wondering, do you have any references? Yes, I have these. And then when you were talking, they might ask you about this, your gym or something like that. Oh, I'm going also to a gym, but I'm going there. And you're talking, and they're trying to socialize. And why do you think they do that? Sorry?
Just to verify that, yes, that's true.
To verify that it's true, yeah. But it's also to just listen to you. Are you awkward? Are you a geek? Are you a strange person? Who are you? You know, just talking, a little chit-chat. That is why. So that's why we built in these kind of questions. So this is a really good one, that you only send it on a request. And then when they say, okay, can you email me the request? And then I'm just curious if you have the opportunity, if you can come for a job interview next Thursday at 11 or something like that. When they call, they often have prepared it. But if they don't ask you, if they call you and don't ask you for a job interview, don't get nervous about that. They might call you back later on. But references is good. And as soon as you send away your references to someone, call the person you sent your references and say, now I send it away to this company. So that's something really good. And this is something also, I put in here a link to my LinkedIn page. Is anybody here has LinkedIn? Raise hands. A few. The rest of you, get LinkedIn. Start there. Start to get contacts. Start to get friends, colleagues, friends here from school, old friends from home. You know, you start to get all these connections, because you never know where you end up. You never know where your friends end up. Your friend might be, I don't know, the CEO of Siemens, in 10 years. Okay, you apply for a job at Siemens. Would you call him? Of course, since you have him connected on LinkedIn. So you put in here, and I also read you put LinkedIn here, and I read undersökning. What's query? I read a query. Thank you. I read a query just a few weeks ago, and it said 80% of all recruiters in Sweden check the social media. 80% of them. 19% of them had said no thank you to what they found on the social media. So give them this one immediately. They can click it. You're open with everything. They can see a connection and all that. And also, I would like you to clean up Facebook. Anybody has Facebook here? No kidding, almost everybody. So you have to look there, you have to go in there because they do it. And I don't recommend you to, how do you say, lock it. Have it open, but take away pictures you don't think are good. Take away comments that you don't think are good. I went into one and she said that she really loved tequila and she was really about tequila and it was about tequila and it was about tequila and I was, what? No, I don't want to, date that girl. So these kind of things, clean up your Facebook and put the LinkedIn on that one and use LinkedIn. I would say LinkedIn is one, yes, sorry, before that. Then what you do when you're finished with your CV, now I just cut it down to one page. You do like this. In Word, you can make it like 50%, 25% or something, 75%. And you make it like that just to see how does it look. What kind of feeling do you get for this one? Because this is what they see, When the recruiter opens your email, this is what they see immediately. This one looks, I don't know. What do you think? Looks good?
I think it's nice, but I don't know about how the site, the letters. I don't know if I have it in written copy or I have it on a computer.
Yeah, good. So you try it self. You try it all the time. You try it, you test it, you see it. I've seen people they put in some lines up there and something like that. Do that if you feel it. Feel free for these kind of things. Don't overdo it. But this one looks quite easy to me. This is my opinion. Quite easy to read. It's structured. It's nice. I know where his name. Immediately. I see a picture of him and these kind of things. So this is what you do before you save it. So if you need to change anything like that, for instance, I've seen a lot of people at the end here. They have like a white gap here. Could you put something there? Could you write a little bit more? Can you fill in something there? And also, I forgot actually to tell you, up here, do you see that I have a gap here? You see that? And there is nowhere else, nothing else that fills it up? Yeah, be honest. If you have a gap, be honest. Don't lie. If they find out that you've been lying, you're busted. You're totally, you will never come back to that company again. So be honest with these kind of things. Instead, have the story about it. I say here, I was the manager of a coffee shop. I sold these coffee shops. And what was I doing in 6 months? Traveling the world, right? And then I found this job, okay? So these kind of things you do instead. You're honest with everything like that. You never lie, okay? So, yes? If everybody knows that it is a CV. This. Well, you can write, if you like to, you can write this curriculum vitae, you can write resume, or you don't have to write anything, actually. No, you don't have to put it in there. Absolutely not. You're absolutely right there. You don't have to put the CV there because it is a CV. So you do as you like there. So all these kind of things, try them out, mixture, play with them, have some fun. And I assume that you are spending quite a few years here at KTH, right? Well, at least, spend 1 hour per year that you've been studying here, spend it on the CV, make it good. I would suggest maybe 1 day per year. If you've been here 5 years, spend 5 days on it. That's my recommendation. Because this is the most important thing. If you don't have a good CV, you will never be called for an interview here. Okay, then we go into Facebook. I've been talking about that. Make your Facebook professional and clean. That's serious, really important. Add context to your LinkedIn. And that is also, old friends, old colleagues, maybe some important friend of your family, maybe some of your mom's, best friends, something like that. Put it in, fill it in. One of the clients, he has 500 contacts. That's the most I heard. But something like 80, 90, 100 contacts. That is a good one. Because like what I told you, your friend might be the CEO of Siemens, and then of course when you apply for a job, you call him. That is what happened. That's why LinkedIn is so powerful. And also put the link into the CV. And then when you save it as a PDF. Never send it away as a Word or a RTF or something like that. Just a PDF. PDF no one can change. Well, of course they can, but it's a hard work. A Word, it's so easy if you have it a Word document. And also have an appropriate file name. For instance, this one is Hans Nilsson, CV, 2 company coaching, key account manager. I was applying for the job. Something like that. Not just CV, not just your name. Because this is what they will have in the file when you are sending in the application. This is what they will see immediately. So they know exactly what it is right away. And so just summarizing, remember the contact info up in the left. And why that? Because we start to read up on the left front, on top left. We start to read there. You have a professional picture on the right side. You start with your working experience. You have the last job first. You think about the responsibilities you have and the result you got. And also the education. You start with the last education you had, the thesis and everything you've been doing there, also courses and so on. And then you have the extracurricular things, other things, if you have it. Otherwise, you just, you don't mention it. And also the computer skills, do the self-evaluation, do it. And also the language. No one else can judge you. If you say that you are fluent in English and they come and say, well, you're not fluent in English. Well, I think I'm fluent in English. I'm not fluent in writing, I tell you, but I'm fluent in talking. And also miscellaneous things about who you are, what do you do, and think about it. What do you do in your spare time? And if you're reading books, for that you're applying for a job and the books are something they can use in that company, mention it. Right now, I'm reading a lot of books, and right now I'm reading this book, and so you make it really interesting for them. And then the references on request, and you call them, you prepare them, okay? And then you check your CV, make it a small one, and then make it a PDF and save it in appropriate file name.